How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So tonight we're going to be reviewing chapter 10 of part 3, which says an appeal that everybody likes. What is that appeal that everybody likes? Let's take the short story of Jesse James, who was a big crime godfather who lived back then. This guy would rob trains, he would hold up banks, he would collect money from the rich and then give them to farmers to pay their mortgages. But in spite of all this guy felt that he was doing a noble thing. He felt that he was into the right cause, that he was doing well, right? He never saw anything wrong about what he was doing. So the fact is that all people you meet have a high regard for themselves. We all like to be fine and unselfish in our own estimation. As long as you want to hold on to the belief that you are doing the right thing, that you are not wrong, you will keep holding on to it. There is nothing anybody says that will make you change your mind. Somewhere in your heart, you may know that what you are doing is wrong. But as human beings, we just have a way of justifying whatever we're doing. We have a way of psyching ourselves up to hold on tenaciously to that which we believe in, right? So J.P. Morgan observed that in one of the analytical interludes, that a person usually has two reasons for doing a thing. One reason sounds good, and the other reason is the real reason, right? So sometimes you may live in denial of the real reason why you're doing something, and then hold on to the one that sounds good, because of course we want to feed our ego, we want to have that sense of self-worth or whatever, and whatever makes us to have it, we hold on to it. So the person himself will think of the real reason. You don't need to emphasize that. The person knows, right? But they are just not going to change their minds easily like that. All of us like to be idealists at our heart. That idea that we think is right, that thing that we think it sounds good, it makes us feel good and everything, that's what we'll hold on to, right? As long as the motive sounds good to you, or you just conjure reasons to justify them, you want to hold on to it. So how do you now get people to change their minds? If all of us or most of us behave this way, that means it is not easy to change our minds, right? Because you hold on to something so much. But there is a way to now make people change their minds about that which they hold on to tenaciously, and that is to appeal to the nobler motives, appeal to their noble selves, right? We're going to understand as we proceed. It is very similar to everything that we've been learning, really very, very similar, right? So we can also say make people feel important, make people feel that you regard them, you respect them, or appeal to something that will make the person change his or her mind. For example, in the Nigerian culture, if you tell somebody, oh, I beg you in the name of God, you have appealed to something special in that person just because you have called God into the matter. Person will be like, and he's begging me, if not for God, let me just do this for God, right? Because in Nigeria, for example, many of us believe in God. We don't play with God, right? So anything that involves God is sacred, it must be respected and held in high esteem. So if you want to appeal to somebody's conscience, maybe the conscience of a typical Nigerian, just I beg you in the name of God. For some people, you have to beg them in the name of their mothers or fathers. For some people, you have to use that child. Think about Daniel and do this for me. Because you love Daniel so much, Daniel is special to you, you will do it. That person has appealed to something, a special place in your heart. So you have to identify that thing and appeal to that if you want anybody to change his or her mind for you, right? And this works in business as well. It works in relationships, it works in families and everything. Let's take the case of a man here, Hamilton J. Farrell, who appealed to the conscience of one of his tenants who wanted to cancel his lease 4 months to the expiration of the lease. And this guy felt that, this is winter. If this guy should cancel this lease now, it will be so tough to get another tenant to come in at this time. His account was going to be in red. It was going to affect his account and everything. So this tenant came to him and said, oh, we're canceling and everything and everything and everything. This guy first thought that, okay, maybe you should say, oh, no, you cannot cancel. If you cancel, you not get your money back, things like that, all of those threats. But he had to reconsider that, instead of flying off the handle. He had to appeal to this guy. And he said, oh, Mr. Doe, I have listened to your story and I still don't believe you intend to move. Yes, in the renting business, I've taught me something about human nature. And I sized you up in the first place as being a man of your word. That was what he used to appeal to this guy. Oh, I know that you're a man of your word. I know that you have integrity. That was what Mr. Hamilton used. So this guy, he did not want to, in Nigerian English, he did not want to fall his hand. He did not want to disappoint the landlord to say, this man holds me in high esteem with regards to my word. He sees me as a honest person. So he kept on repeating it. Oh, I know that you're a man of your word, because you have signed the lease to stay in my house for a period of time. And now, 4 months into the expiration of that lease, you want to cancel. Where do I get another tenant? How do I make up for this? To be difficult, right? So he now said, okay, I want to give you a proposition. Lay your decision on the table for a few days and think over it. And if you come back to me between now and the first day of the month when the next rent is due, and you still stand on your decision, fine, you can go. But maybe if you change your mind, all well and good. On that day, the first day of the next month, this guy came to him to pay the rent for the next month, to say, no, my wife and I have thought over it. We are staying. That is it. So you must know people enough, well enough, to know what appeals to them, right? Lord Notchcliffe found a newspaper using picture of him, which he didn't want published. So he did not go to the newspaper. He did not write them to say, oh, please don't publish that picture of me anymore. I don't like it. No. He appealed to a nobler motive in them, using the respect that they have for motherhood. He wrote them, he says, please do not publish that picture of me anymore. My mother doesn't like it, right? Because they are from good homes, right? They have home training. We're like, he involved his mother in this. That's why some people will fight you if you call their mother in any way that they don't like. You regard their mother in a derogatory manner. They can't fight you to any level because they hold their mothers in high esteem, right? So that was what he used to stop them from publishing his picture that they didn't like. What about John D. Rockefeller? When photographers would snap pictures of his children, he had to appeal to their nobler motives. He did not say, no, I don't want their pictures published, don't do that, blah, blah, blah. No argument. He said, you know how it is, boys. You've got children yourselves, some of you. And you know it's not good for youngsters to get too much publicity. That was it. So they will consider, we also have children. No, I wouldn't want anybody to do this to my children. That was it. So look for something that will appeal to that person and say it. There was another guy that was an author, Curtis. He was a poor boy from Maine back then before he had his big break. And he wanted stars, celebrities, to author some of his writings and everything, including the woman we learned about yesterday, Louisa May Alcott. But he did not have the money to pay. But he appealed to something in her. This woman was very, very famous. And he said, oh, okay, I will write a check of $100 to your favorite charity. Not to her. That money was too small for this woman. He said to your favorite charity. Because the woman hold a charity, that charity in high esteem. She wrote for this poor boy. Right. But you may say, oh, this thing will not work in all cases. It will not work for for everybody. That is right. There is no one thing that works for everybody, no matter how good it is. But if you haven't tried it, don't condemn it that it will not work. Sometimes we close our minds to say, oh, something will not work. We just assume. There is no harm in trying. You can experiment it, right? And if you are not satisfied with the results, fine. But there's really no harm in trying. You can try things out to see what works and what doesn't work. And it was used in the case of some guys, six customers of a certain automobile company who refused to pay their bills for servicing. They signed quite all right that there was nothing wrong with the servicing of their car and everything, but they just refused to pay. And the credit department used false threats and everything, gave them very harsh words over the phone. These guys did not pay until the manager stepped in to say, oh, no, we need to recover this money. And they sent Mr. Thomas to speak to these guys. Mr. Thomas changed his approach. He did not threaten them. He said, no, I want to listen to your story. Until I have listened to your story, I wouldn't even say anything. I don't know what to say. So I want you to sincerely tell me what happened. In what way do you think that we have wronged you as a company? You know, what should we have done better? What did we fail to do? And things. Tell me. So speak in terms of the interest of the other person, like we have learned, right? No, you tell me your story. I want to hear it. I'm interested in that, you know. And they opened up to him. And when it was done, he said, okay, this is your bill. How do you think it should be adjusted? If you think that we have wronged you or you are wrongly billed. And 5 of them adjusted it, you know, 1 of them still refused to pay. But do you know what? These guys ordered cars from this same company within the next 2 years. They continued to order cars. They did not stop doing business with this company because of the way Mr. Thomas handled them. He appealed to their nobler motive, you know, made them feel important, you know, and they started talking. He said, I want you to know, I also feel that this matter has been badly mishandled. You've been inconvenienced and annoyed and irritated by one of our representatives. That should never have happened. I'm sorry. As a representative of the company, I apologize, blah, 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 you know. And by the time he was saying that, the customers calmed down. They calmed down that, oh, this guy is sorry. This guy is blaming himself. He's blaming their company. So the blame is no longer on us. That is it. Everybody wants to feel that way, right? So Mr. Thomas says experience has taught him that when no information can be secured about the customer, the only sound basis on which to proceed is to assume that this customer is sincere, is honest, is truthful, and willing and anxious to pay the charges once convinced that they are correct. So you assume that this customer is correct, this customer is right. That's why they'll tell entrepreneurs or people who are into selling of anything, customers are always right. If you hold tightly onto these statements, don't argue with people that will say, no, customers are not always right. Customers are always right. It is a psychological thing to help you handle your customers well, never to argue with them, so that you will resolve the issues, whatever issues, amicably, and they can continue to do business with you. For how long will you continue to lose customers because you want to stand on your own right? You are not in business to stand on your own right. You are in business to make money. So any noble way that will enable you make money, you better go for it. Customers are always right. If you see it this way, then you tell me about it. We may have been wrong, you know, tell me about it. Assume that that customer is sincere and honest, and you are open to hearing whatever he or she has to say. That's the way to handle it. Because if the customer is disgruntled, they don't want to say anything, you cannot continue to use force. They will go with your money. They will not do business with you again. They will not refer you. They will not do anything. So who loses? It is you. Right. So always see people as being right. This way, you'll be able to listen to what they want to say with an open mind. Make people feel that you consider them to be right. You consider them to be honest, to be sincere, that they are not lying to you, that you believe them. That's the only way. So principle 10 says, appeal to the nobler motives. You want to get anybody to change his or her mind, think of the way you can get to the person's heart. What does the person cherish a lot that he cannot play with? That's the entrance to their heart. Use it. Thank you so much. That will be all. for tonight's review. Don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me, and please subscribe to this channel. In case you are yet to subscribe, I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel I inspire you to live intentionally. I'll come your way again tomorrow by God's grace as we review chapter 11 of part 3, which says the movies do it, TV does it, why don't you do it? Okay, the movies do it, TV does it, why don't you do it? We'll talk about this tomorrow. Until then, be intentional. Bye-bye.